CNN craziness. And let me move some of my stuff. And let's get it going. Let's see if we can get somebody live in here. And let's talk through your comments. So we had the SIG video that came out this weekend, kind of like an off-cycle video. And we were talking about the SIG P320, New Hampshire bill, HR 551, which is effectively served to impart shield SIG from liability regarding issues with the P320. And I was hopping mad, and the video's done pretty well. Let's go ahead and take it. Let's check it out. As of right meow, about 1,600 views, which is higher for me normally, and 60 comments. And so what we are going to do right now is I'm going to go through every one of these 60 comments, at least as much as I can until I got to start doing other stuff. And just to kind of react to them, and maybe if there's a question there, I'll answer it. Uh, I hope you all can hear me. Um, I know we got one person right now. If I could just get maybe a comment or a thumbs up or a like that you can hear me, that would be great. And they just left, so that's not good. All right, we're gonna wing it. Let's see. So let's bring up the video. All right, looks like my iPhone. And let's bring up the comments. So there were 60 comments, as I said, and we're just going to do the top line ones, and then we'll start from there. All right. So uh, Titan Titan Uranus. These names are great. Titan Uranus says the way to get Sig's attention is with your wallet. Don't buy anything from them. And he had two replies, which are largely supporting of that person. So yeah, I guess that's one way. If you're even if you and a lot of people were like this, even if you like the Sigs and but you've been upset with what Sig has done in the last what uh, you know a couple months, don't buy any more cigs. That's just your right as an American. Simpler Thoughts, 1975 said, I don't comment much on the SIG controversy, but I dodged a bullet by not switching to a P320 for USPSA. Yeah, you did. And now you can shoot with your head held high. I'd be curious to know what you're shooting. Um, uh, Joseph Farrow, 6711, said, I actually own a couple SIG Sauer P320s and had no issues with discharges, like meaning like accidental discharges. But the way that SIG conduct themselves is absolutely atrocious. Okay, SIG, we get to the game you want to play, and this is what we're going to do, et cetera, and so forth. Essentially saying that they're going to boycott to the best of their ability. John Van Sweargen, big visitor to the channel, says, think of all the lovely flag officers who ended up with post-retirement consulting and marketing positions at Sig Sauer and how eager they were to sell out the safety of service members. So I'm going to stop reading this one right here, considering, yeah, stop right there and no comment. We'll just leave it at that. And then Hammerly 280, another fan favorite here at the Bullseye channel, says it'll be interesting to see whether or not this legal strategy will work, especially since SIG P320 thumb safety appears not to be a solution. Yeah. So I sort of mistakenly thought that the P320 with manual safety somehow avoided this whole issue. And based on some of the videos that we've seen come out, that is not the case. Like the conditions um, that can be recreated to cause the engagement between the seer and the striker, light light contact, um, and an uncommanded discharge, the trigger uh, safety does nothing to mitigate that. And there's some really great videos coming out like presently, meaning like last couple of days, coming out in the next couple of days, like on the conditions. I can't remember the name of the channel. I'll have it here in a sec because I referenced it in one of my things. And for those who are watching, all two of you, if you want to post in a comment too, I'll get to that here at the end. Mike Green says, "Yep, those APAC connections sure seem to be paying off for Sig." Um, Christy Carter says, "Actually, Sig covering themselves goes hand in hand with the true colors of its upper management, et cetera, and so forth. Boycott 6X Hour." Bob says, "Thanks for the video. Sig is no nasty money. Wait, thanks, Fo. Thanks, yeah, thanks, Fo, the video. Sig is nasty. No money to them. Vote with your wallet, good sirs." uh, Rick Sweatman, 2063 says, "As a happy owner of two Sig hammer fired SIGs, I will never buy another SIG, et cetera, and so forth." And I kind of got this in the video. Like, there's some SIG sours out there that are pretty sweet. Like the classic line, the 226, the 220, 228, 229, the obvious best, probably the best SIG ever made, the 210. Yeah. I mean, they kind of like take that lineage and the way that, not even, let's pretend for a minute that everything SIG has been saying is correct. And it does end today. Well, they still handled it horribly and told their consumers that they're idiots and the things that they're seeing aren't real and the things that they're feeling aren't feeling. And that is, I guess, a political decision in some ways, but bad politics, right? Like, if you want someone to vote for you with their wallet, best not to call them an idiot or insult them. And then let's keep going. Elemental Load or Elemental Toad said, "Glad I dumped my SIGs back to Beretta and Glock." Yeah, that's a great question, and I'd be interested in what people think. If you're shooting SIGs and you don't want to do that anymore, what are you shooting now? Is it a Glock, or are you going something even more classic? Are you going to a DASA, like assuming you're moving from a P320? Are you going to like a Beretta or a mother effing 1911? Y'all, that's what I'm talking about. I already walked. Thanks for the fish, Sig. Quality reference right there. Boycott Sig Sauer. Green tea coffee. Actually got to meet this individual in Colorado Springs. Friggin' sweet. I also like green tea and coffee. And so the marketing blitz to try and play down the issues with 320 like seems like something that Ackerman McQueen would do. Uh, Jam DC 2000. Nice rant. Feels good afterwards to let off some steam. Yes, it does. 19 by fucking 1911, baby. That's where it's at. Y'all trying to make guns less cool by having other guns other than the 1911. Just 1911 is where it's at. Like, I was just going to do a bunch of FUD stuff, but like, yes, yes. Sean, yeah, yeah. It's like, that's the brightest side of owning a gun in California I've ever heard. Somebody renamed SIG, saying, "Blame the consumer, problem solved." The MDC said, "I just spent my own money on a CZP '07 thanks to Honest Outlaw." Honest Outlaw, great channel, cool dude. Would love to meet him one day. And great reviews, like just as his name moniker would say, like 1911. I'm sorry, I'm just back on 1911. He also likes 1911s. Um, I've never fired a CZP07, P07, right? And they look good. Like they look like they're excellent firearms, and I would have no issue. I just haven't been around to it, haven't done it. And it's not really a like a quasi U.S. service weapon, so it doesn't, other than my Bullseye stuff, I don't really pay it a whole lot of attention. But I think it would be pretty great. Also, in my opinion, an uh, um, an underloved, underutilized platform that you can get for a pittance is the Beretta APX. Pick your version, whatever which one you want. I think those guns are fantastic. The new versions are great. On my old channel, Target Pistol Guy, we did a whole breakdown of the new version of the APX, and it's wonderful. Not a problem. Oh yeah, down in PR. Yeah, of course, Perry. It's gonna be awesome. Hopefully, we don't get rained out. Thanks for stopping by. Matthew 57 says, "I have a X5 DH3, honestly pretty good looking X5. What should I do? I don't care if there's one in the pipe, but shit, the skids in your head." It does. And I sent him the video from, hold on. Oh, did you hear that? LFD Research. That's who you want to go to. Check out LFD Research's videos. Google that. That's where you want to go. And they've got, and they're going to continue. They've said that they're going to continue doing really, really good features on some of the issues with the 320. All right, let's get back to these comments. Holy heck. I think I just lost my thing. Don't worry, hold on. Heavens to Betsy. Oh, that's me right now. I was about ready. Oh, that's the video I'm doing right now. I'm about ready to watch myself. This is gonna get real meta here. Uh holy there it is. All right. All right, that's me. Yeah, hi me. All right, go back in the comments. Let's scroll down to Green Tea Collective, so on and so forth. All right. The range W1U says, I buy nothing said, never will. Well, then you avoided this problem and you're laughing from the corner. Good for you. Walking Man 45, 45. The range guys who actually test. Oh, so I talked a little bit in my video about the, I guess essentially it was my like, not a plea. Well, I guess it was a little bit of a plea, but also just like commiserating a little bit with the people who work at SIG, right? Because like, let's not pretend for a minute that there aren't wonderful people who work for 6 hour. Um, and they're having to deal with this while also having like an allegiance, and not only that, but probably their family's livelihood um, tied to the company. Um, and they're gun lovers, I assume, right? That's how they get into the industry. And this guy says the range guys who actually test weapons at SIGI are made to check weapons out of the vault and transfer them to the range in their own vehicles, so no like company vehicles. Even when testing full auto machine guns, load their mags, conduct tests and reports, clean them, and bring them back to the vault. The pay rate, if hired after 5+ interviews, is $19 to $24,000. Let's do some math on that. As an HR professional, what is it? What's the hourly multiplication rate to get annual salary? Let's say it's 24 on the high side. Was it 2080? Right? I think it's 2080. $49,000. So someone figure out what the cost of living is in Epping, New Hampshire, in the sticks, New Hampshire. If you're living on $49,000, 920, that's before tax. So the tax man cometh. Tax man's going to take 25%. I don't know what the taxes are in New Hampshire. So 0.75. Your take home pay $37,000, $37,441 divided 12 months. You're making $3,120 a month. Let's take out, I don't know why I'm doing this right now, but it's really exciting. Let's take out $1,800 in rent, $400 in groceries. That's light. $400 car payment, $520 spending money. Let's take your girl out. Make sure your kids are, teeth are brushed. That's what you're dealing with. That sucks, man. So I guess those, and the video, I was like, I hope these people leave and start their own firearms company. It's hard to do that if you don't have the capital. But if you work for SIG, and I know a couple people who work for SIG, I love you. I love you. Sorry this is happening. People take advantage of it. Well, okay. So here's a dissenting view. We like dissenting views. Uh, yeah, right. Uh, Quoth the Raven 7 says people are taking advantage of it. They're buying SIG P320s just so they can say they were injured by one so they can get a cool 2 million. So you actually have to like substantiate an injury in court. So I highly doubt that people are going out. This is just quote me as skeptical that people are going out purchasing a $400, $450 P320 and then manufacturing an instance where it has an uncommanded discharge, which would actually, in the case that this person is describing, having a commanded discharge, then contacting SIG and then trying to get a settlement for $2 million. Don't think that that's happening. I really, really don't. One, if that was happening, we would have way more video evidence because it would have been faked, right? Uh, so I don't buy it. Yeah, I don't know. But if that guy's got evidence of that, like bring it up and we'll figure it out. Homicidal Platypus One, epic. That'd be a sweet band name. Says Sig managed to piss off the guy who's so nice. I guess he's talking about me. Oh, every video with a message about kindness and understanding. They've definitely messed up bad. I'm in for a general boycott of SIG products. That's what I'm talking about. And then somebody sort of like rogered up. So for those who don't know, I begin or end every video with the 3 rules for life, which I'll give you now for free. Rule 1, don't be a jerk. Rule 2, take care of yourself. And rule 3, help other people. And as always, know that you don't know what's going on in someone else's mind. They don't know what's going on in your mind. So be kind and courteous and cautious when dealing with other people. It's a good rule for life. Moral philosopher, this guy. Uh, Muzzle Stuffer 2012, sweet name. So, I mean, what are we talking about there? Is that a metaphor? Says, have you been able to get your hands on a CZ Shadow 2 target? Not a target. So if you're talking about a target, this one with like the AccuU thing, where it's actually got like a guide rod and kind of looks like a 1911. It's got a oh, what the fuck do you call it? Sorry, what the fart do you call that thing? It's on the 1911. I mean, parts are leaving me. Sorry, it's been a long day. Um, I'm in a new location, as you can tell, by the way. We're a traveling YouTuber here. But no, I haven't. I've owned a CZ Shadow 2, and I think I liked everything that people like about the CZ Shadow 2. I like the weight, pretty much like the trigger, especially in single action. I didn't like the fact that in competition, you have to use your thumb and your forefinger to decock it. That seems pretty lame. And what else did I like? And then it was very front heavy. Uh, it felt kind of like akin to holding a baseball bat straight out. And while the gun itself didn't recoil, I felt that it was difficult to move the front end of the gun or swing the gun because so much of the mass was out front. So, um, what do they call it? Moment of inertia. We did a whole video on that, talking about moment of inertia and where you place the weights on air pistols. It's pretty cool. All right. Fire your rockets said, well, their CEO ran Kimber into the ground. This person also has a P320 DH3. Mine has never been fired yet. It does not go into battery manually. The spring it shipped with is a 12. There's a 14 in the case. They called it about me, and the pistol is fine, according to Sig. And they went on a very, very, very long thing talking about the fact that he doesn't trust this gun. Um, so fire your rockets. Um, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. I wish that your gun was better from Sig, or that hopefully you can get it figured out. But I'm sorry. And then somebody says Kelly Ayotte. Somebody want to phonetically tell me how to say that, but that's the governor of New Hampshire. Democrat, Republican. They're kind of they make them different up there, don't they? Like that's not like your typical liberal. If she's Democrat, she's not like your typical one, right? It's like the live free or die state. But apparently, in the pocket of big business or medium-sized business, if we're talking about Sig. In the video, I was really surprised. One, about how low their profit margin was. I guess maybe that wasn't so surprising. And then how few employees that they have. I mean, you think about Sig Sauer, and you're like, oh, it's a big company, but domestically, we're talking 3,200 employees. That is not a huge company. I mean, like JP Morgan is a huge company. In my old town, they employed in one building like almost 10,000 people. That's an employer. 6 hour, maybe not so much. Then again, JP Morgan makes substantially more than 6 hour. Beef Stewed 34. Man, you guys got some good names. Says crazy part is they have decent products. Yeah. Against my better judgment, I chose the M17 over the Glock 19X. Ooh. A few days ago. Listen, I did too. For that, I'm and they, I was like, oh, 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 well, the military went with this one. I'm going to go with this one. And then like four P320s later, I'm just like, no, I need a Glock. Yeah, same here. You're familiar with it because you're in the army, right? However, at those moment, I haven't managed to get an uncommanded discharge. Whoever's running SIG at the shareholder or CEO spot right now is what's going to continue ruining them as a brand. Yeah, yeah, leadership, right? Like it all comes down to leadership. Just accept the issue with the FCU and the 320 and fix it. But there is no issue. It can never go off. Don't never say never, right? That should be like number one lesson of leadership. Like never say never. Um, oh yeah, we got a dissenting one. We got like a little bit of a SIG fanboy slash Bullseye channel hater. The guy says, yawn, yawn. Oh, who's this? Regrandi. What's up, man? Yawn. You don't understand the law that was passed. Well, that's probably true. You're probably a Glock fanboy. Go away. Where do you want me to go? Like in a different room, like in the bathroom back there? Like I'm not sure what you want. Respond down there and let me know. Am I a Glock fanboy? No. No, I'm not. I think they're fine guns. I own way more SIGs. And in my course of my, what, 20 years of shooting, I've owned way more SIGs than Glocks. And am I a Glock fanboy? Probably. He says probably. So you're asking. You're probably a Glock fanboy. I assure you, I am not a Glock fanboy. Though I really do want one of the new Glock 47s on with the KOA attached to it. I don't know. If that makes me a fanboy or just I'm just curious, right? I like to get around. General Hurricane. Oh, those are great names. Says, I'm sure they'll miss you. Meaning Sig. Uh, I don't know. Like I'm pretty good company. They might miss me. They might miss me. And then we got the last two comments here. The last one I'm not going to get to because it was a personal plea, but the answer is no. So Pro Se American DLZ obviously looks like you're going through some issues, and my heart goes out to you. But no, I'm not gonna bring that to this channel. This is a pretty much this whole SIG conversation is a pretty big departure from what I typically do. But I encourage you to reach out, maybe to some other YouTubers that work in the legal space. So not going to do it here. No harm, no foul. And then all you SIG haters talking about SIG E320 sound like just a bunch of ignorant Democrats talking about Donald Trump. Laugh emoji face, smile, tongue out emoji face, smile, tongue out emoji face, giant eye, kind of closed eye, tongue out emoji face, laughing and sweating emoji face, laughing like this, crying out the side of my ears emoji face. This is a lot of emojis. This is a lot. This person is probably like 15. Closed eyes, a laughing face, and then that emoji. All you SIG haters talking about the SIG P320 sound like just a bunch of ignorant Democrats. What about not ignorant Democrats? I think maybe, what do we know about that? Just talking about Donald Trump. I guess what he meant to say was like SIG P320, it's the greatest. It ends today. Nothing's wrong. When it shoots, it only goes straight. That was my Trump. Pretty good. All right. Those are your comments. This has been a fun 22-minute video hanging out with you. What's coming up on the channel this week? We got a channel. We got a video dropping, like it's my new rap album. We have a video coming out on Friday that is on. I just did it. Oh, my first rapid fire match. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Bullseye on the Bullseye channel. And then coming up, I'd really like to do a feature video. It's going to take some editing. Yeah, I will answer that question, Marcos. Give me a sec. And then I don't know if you saw it. Maybe you're not into like the Marine Corps shooting team or what's going on with that, but two more admins got released last week. Maybe it was the week before that about they are incorporating on the Marine Corps shooting team. So you have Marine Corps, weapons training battalion, Marine Corps shooting team, and then you got teams underneath the Marine Corps shooting team. They no longer shoot, and I'm going to step a little bit outside of my comfort zone, uh, and what I exactly know, but to the best of my knowledge, they no longer shoot high power rifle, which is like old school service rifle, like they do up at Camp Perry. Basically, any of the Camp Perry stuff, service rifle, service pistol, they don't shoot anymore. I don't know. They might shoot it to a certain extent. Some people on the team might shoot it, but I don't think that they have sponsored the team in some years. And then sadly, um, oh, for Navy pistol, uh, um, uh, I'll get to those in a minute. Tim, hold on. Oh, yeah. Marine Corps base Quantico. Yeah, but that was a Navy match, right? Like the Marine Corps. Did the Marine Corps have a service pistol team, or were there just Marines that were shooting it? I'd be very curious to know about that because I'm no longer associated with the reserve team. And then the reserve team will not be sending Marines this year, to the best of my knowledge, to that. So there won't be a whole lot of Marines there, which means maybe the competition with the Macmillan is going to be a little easier, which is, part of winning is showing up. All right. So anyway, they released a couple more admins where they are adding a drone attack team. And I want to do a video, uh, basically like is our drones are the new Bullseye, and talk a little bit about that. Let me know if that featurette would be interesting. I think it'd be kind of like a non-standard video, and kind of cool. And then I've got another video coming up about stand by. You may fire when your dog targets appear. Uh, this books for Bullseye. So Keith Sanderson, when I was talking to him about rapid fire pistols, says like this book, which is competitive shooting, which was translated by the Herschel Anderson and is, I'm going to butcher the name, the Rushing shooting coach, AA Yuryev. This book is awesome. And he's like, you can't find the book anymore. I literally found it on Amazon used. It's like, this is the book. It is everything. Look at these diagrams about shooting, mostly Olympic. This book is awesome. I'm going to do books for Bullseye. Like, I can't say enough about this book. I'm mad that I haven't, like, I've been shooting competitive pistol from a Bullseye standpoint since 2009. And I mean, so what is that, like over 15 years? It's like, reading this book, I realized how much I don't know about bullseye shooting. So those are the kind of what's on tap, and then we're going to be rolling right in to Camp Perry, which is sweet. I'll get to the comments here in a minute. I'm very sorry. And then I'd like to do some interviews because I know you guys love the interviews. So maybe set up some interviews with some shooters. If you put the names in the comment below, maybe I can reach out to those individuals. And we'll do kind of like the 25 questions thing that I used to do, the one that I did with Jim Henderson. And then I'm trying to get a day or two when I'm back home to just film a F ton of 50-yard test videos with literally every pistol I own that I haven't done a test on yet. And that's what I got coming out. So, and that's what's doing. And then I've got an idea for a video series that I'd like to do. Um, we'll get to that more. So, all right, let's get these comments. All right, Sean Woodburn says 19 by God 11. Hell yeah! Like, I mean, you're shooting a 320. It's not going great. Company, you know what company? You know it won't. Oh, Uncle Sam. Oh, those 1911s. Has anybody seen that they're going to offer? You can buy 1911s at Nationals this year, probably for a ton of money, and you get to like look at them, kind of like you did with the Garands. You get to like, but you got to pay to get a ticket to get in there. That's probably why I'm not going to do it. Marcos says, "See it, Perry," and then Marcos also says, "Sorry about being off topic, but need to know: Pardini GT45 or Accuracy X? Your pick." Accuracy X. By that I mean probably 1911. There are only certain conditions whereby this is for me. You're asking me. I don't know what your situation is, Marcos, but for me, I really liked the Pardini. The grip was a little weird for me, and by that I don't mean the grip angle. The grip angle, the sort of traditional, very like more neutral Olympic sort of angle grip. I think I prefer. Although 1911s at this point are super natural for me. Plus, I'm an American. Um, so the one thing I didn't like about it, especially what I would imagine on the GT45, is the frame is aluminum. I know they did make a very, very small run of steel framed, but like literally like the founder made those guns and they're not making them anytime soon. Why God not? It would be the heaviest, most awesome gun. I would say Accuracy X 1911. I think that regardless, the 1911s are likely more accurate mechanically than the Pardini or than the GT45. So mechanically, you're going to start on a better foot. And then the trigger, while wonderful on the Pardini GT45 and certainly tunable with external tools, I mean, really takes all the guesswork out. You got to really love the GT45 to go with it over a 1911, in my opinion. And there's so many more people. The customer service from Pardini is great. There's so many more people who know, and there's so much information about there about 1911s. Plus, I'm not certain, and someone would have to figure, did they get done? Are we still doing this thing on service pistol where you can use any gun, any safe ammunition, or they still have like a list, or it has to have like a military heritage? Because I don't know that the GT45 would satisfy the requirement of having a military heritage, and thus would not be something that you could use for service pistol. So for versatility, I would say if you're going between Accuracy X and the Pardini, my recommendation for me personally would be an Accuracy X. That's probably what I would recommend to someone else. Though you're talking about more money with an Accuracy X, right? So after tariffs, I know the tariffs have, based on what I can observe, like Pardini's cost more than they used to. I haven't had a chance to talk with Alexander on some of the tariff effects on the guns, but they seem to have gotten more expensive. That could just be inflation. But I think you're looking at like mid 3,500 for a GT45, and for a 1911, if you're doing X series with Accuracy X, I think you're looking almost twice that. So also to consider. That being said, there are also amazing guns out there, right? Like, you can find some great ones on the used market. Uh, all right. Ooh, Tim's helped me out here. And then Tim says, "Oh yeah, so Tim, you were just at Weapons Training Battalion, Marine Corps Base Quantico for Navy Pistol in May. Hope it went great. I love those matches. I got a text from Todd Pepe that he was out there shooting, retired Marine Colonel. They were just a Navy match with RSA. There were a few Marines with Smoky Bear hats, but they were briefly. Oh yeah, so they just showed up for the opportunity to get leg points. They weren't like shooting the match. There was no like team unit that showed up and like, all right, service pistol team on deck. We're going to shoot. Um, that would sort of validate my last heard news that they no longer have a service pistol team, but that doesn't mean that they can't right pull a 1911 out of the armory and head down for one match and just like kind of work on it, which is sad. I mean, do you guys want a video on that? I don't know. That's kind of a sad topic. And obviously like, I don't know that I want to talk about it on YouTube channel, but the movement away from traditional Bullseye, I already did Bullseye versus USPSA videos. Maybe that kind of gets to it already. Um, there were team shooting, bunch of Navy dudes, Coast Guard, the Coasties, man. I love those guys. Coast Guard's awesome. Oh no, clearly 90 people. What was, I know I'm like having a conversation with you on this, but 22 IC, do you remember what the cutoff was? I'd be curious. Was it like the minimum qualified score? Um, and then what else we got here? David says, sorry, I bought a Sig pre 320. Yeah, don't be sorry about it, right? Like it just kind of bite. That's the whole thing about this whole thing. Um, is so going back to the SIG conversation, is like, don't be sorry about the purchase that you made. Like, I hate that you're going through that, but SIG has put you in this position, and it isn't even to an extent, it's not even the quality of the gun because, like, even if you look at some of the industry stuff and some of the things that like all the YouTubers are doing to say like this is what we think the problem is, it's pretty clear that it isn't every single one, right? But there's enough of a gray area. And so like the market essentially presented SIG with this gray area of like, hey, what's going on? And SIG basically was like, shut your effing mouth. You're wrong. Nothing, yeah, you're wrong. Nothing's wrong. The SIG is great. Everything's perfect. Like that was essentially, they were like, oh, we see this ambiguity. We appreciate you coming to us. Fuck you was basically the response. And like that was to me, I was like, I don't want to shoot a SIG anymore. And it's not because I don't think my M17, though I don't love the gun, is not a good gun. It's perfectly acceptable. It's that I don't want to represent that company the way that they're acting. That's to me the whole issue. Like and then to say nothing's wrong, but then desperately requiring. I mean, this is the news. Like we can listen to, was it Brian Cox's testimony at the hearing like regarding this, I think that's his name, Brian Cox. Somebody help me out here. Um, is like they required a certain level of immunity, right? And it's not complete, it's not total, right? Like you can still sue SIG, but it made it a lot more difficult to do so. So don't tell me on one hand that nothing is wrong with this gun, and on the other hand, seek legal immunity for any infraction. It's like, how dumb do you think we are? To Marcos, like, still buy, maybe still buy. All right, buy one more Sig and just make it not a new production, so it's not hitting their bottom line. Buy it from someone else, so you're not, no cash flow is going into their pocket, but you owe it to yourself to have a 210. They are sweet. They are sweet. Americans ones are great too. So, all right, looking, we're 34 minutes in. It's 2032 present time where I'm located, and Daddy's got to get to bed. This video brought to you by what we got around me. Competitive Shooting, a book that's no longer released. Magnesium Calm helps you sleep well, and LMNT because I've been doing keto and intermittent fasting and et cetera and so forth. So. Blessings to all of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave 3 rules for life. Rule 1, don't be a jerk. Rule 2, take care of yourself. Rule 3, help other people. And as always, know that you don't know what's going on in someone else's mind. They don't know what's going on in your mind. So be kind and cautious when dealing with other people. Blessings, hold hard, shoot straight, and new video coming out Friday. Talk to you guys later.